You must love this Scotty Scheffler Belichick talk, Professor. I'm very inspired.
You do it every week. Like you were so far up Scotty Scheffler's ass.
I did text you yesterday.
That,
I thought you might want to tune in.
We've talked about it a million times. I don't get it. We hate on all these guys. The new one, Myles Garrett. Ooh, he was speeding. And like people are freaking
That's
out.
That's his 8th ticket, though. Would you still have a license?
Like, you know what the difference is? I would be in prison for 30 years if I drug a cop behind a car. And you guys not only don't mention that, not only forgive it, you suck up, Chike. And by the way, again, let's remind that this is a guy who chokes and cries at the Ryder Cup, and you people are, oh, Scotty Scheffler. Like every time he goes to play the Ryder Cup, goes out of his way to humiliate America while trying to kill cops. Oh my God, speeding! Yeah, that's the end of the world. But Scotty Scheffler runs over a freaking cop, and we're all like, "Oh, okay, no big deal. Scotty's a good dude." What about him and his son? Look, he holds up his son after every tournament. What a charming man! What a wonderful. I hope my kids grow up to be like him. Attempted cop murderers. Yeah, great guy.
The time.
Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
Very special good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Defo Show. The professor's acrimony with Scotty Scheffler does seem a little misguided, doesn't it?
I actually go there. I enjoy it greatly because it's so strange.
Yeah.
Like
all the people they hate. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler.
He barely like bumped the cop. Like he turned it into that he was driving 100 miles.
Like he was Randy Moss, who we came to like also.
In the highway, and then went out of his way to kill the cop.
Randy Moss was stoned out of his mind. I mean, they opened the door. It was like they opened up an incubator, man, and all the smoke came pouring out. And he literally was dragging his cop all over the place. And then when we met Randy Moss, and now he had his share of controversies and differences with people and organizations, but he couldn't have been any more delightful, could he? Randy Moss, when we met him.
He was a nice guy. I enjoyed talking to him.
Whatever happened to that project, Lubie? What was that? Miami Sports something?
Miami Sports Center. I have no idea. There's still when I last looked a few months ago, there was still a website.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay.
A website still.
I really like the guy that was running that thing. His name escapes me now, but he was a big fan of the shows and very supportive of us. Although it was a little hard to collect the capital, in spite of the fact that there was a humongous investment supposedly being made in this land in Dade County, which and we had a great time. Could he have had more of a dignified collection of people representing the organization?
No, they were real deal people.
Glenn Rice, Levon was there. I love you, Miami.
The woman that helped
Brian Trottier
was the coach when USA won 2 World Cups, the 2 women's World Cups. Like it was.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. South Florida, things just sort of go away.
A lot of dignitaries there for the ribbon cutting, and I think that was the last we ever saw of the project. But anyway, good to be with you guys. Many things. We have a giant slate. Why is this Thursday slate of college football so robust, Lubie? Ton of games.
Week 1.
I know it's the Labor Day weekend. Are people off today? Is it like a 5-day weekend or something? Why would this Thursday schedule be so heavily inundated with games? Because you do, and then you have a marquee game that a lot of people are talking about with Boise State going against University of South Florida. No Gentry for Boise State, and that has many people thinking that South Florida, with this monster quarterback that they have, a two-way threat, a Dante Culpepper could actually throw, and a lot of people are on the bandwagon of South Florida in this one, having won 2 straight bowl games, Lubie. And almost everybody I've talked to, including Howie Hoops, is back in his handicapping mode here in the New York Post, now known as the Pigskin Prophet, Howie Kasoy, who we've had on the show. And remember that this guy was on fire. I mean, he had like an incredible record for several years. Was hundreds of games over 500. I mean, he was an ATM machine when it came to wagering. But since that time, I don't think he's fallen on some harder times. And what I get a kick out of now is they post his record for the last 10 years. because the first 3 or 4 were so spectacular. He was so far above 500. He still, for the last 10 years, is about 80 games over 500. But that has been diminished over the last several years. Last year he was barely above 500, but I don't know. What would you say if a handicapper hits at just above a 500 clip? Would you consider that successful, or could any moron just go ahead and go eeny, meeny, miny, mo and pick 50% of the game?
Any moron can. I mean, look, what you want is 60% because at least you're up. You want to make money. The idea is at least make money.
I think you have to hit 53 or 4% to beat the juice.
Okay.
That's
what you want. I mean, if you're making
unless you're picking all underdogs like Mark Lawrence does, in which case you're well. I mean, you got the 110 to win 100. You still have to beat the juice. You have to beat the vig. So what were you going to say? What's your barometer for a successful handicap? 60%.
That's what Ken always. Ken does better than that, but that's what Ken's always told me. If you're like when people say I'm doing 90, that's a stupid ass number.
I mean, look, anybody can have a streak.
Yeah. But again, when you're down to 30, do you tell everyone about like, that's why 60, like you pick 60. It's a nice solid number.
It's a good number. Yeah. 6 out of 10. You're a winner.
I get it. Track players don't like hearing numbers like that. But the reality is if you treat gambling like a business in a sense,
an investment,
you want 5 to 10% the ROI you usually look for. Yes. Some ventures get you 15 to 20, some get you 30%. But again, those are called riskier ventures. If you're thinking of it from, again, I've learned from you guys, there's different forms of gambling lend themselves to different things. When you're going and doing table games at a casino, you shoot your shot, you pick a number and you shoot your shot. If you're doing the track, to me, I know you guys handicap. To me, it's a lot. You're expecting animals, and then there's 12 horse fields. Like to me, that's again, shoot your shot, pick long shots. Try and make a big score. When it comes to sports, there's a 50-50 shot. It's a lot more reasonable.
Well, one team has to win and one team has to lose, regardless of the spread.
So you don't have to be risk. Like it doesn't have to be about risk. It can be the opposite. It can be just about slowly grinding, which no one likes. Slowly grinding and trying to turn a profit. So to me, 60% is that perfect number. If you're below that, why is someone following you? And if you're above that, we'll see how long that lasts.
Below that tends to get a little bit painful. I don't know about 60%. I would agree with you. If you're hitting 6 out of 10 consistently over a long period of time, you would have to be in the category of being considered a good handicapper. If you're at 50%, you are exactly where the guy who never picks a game is. You are right there with Holly and Skippy. And I'll throw Wolf in there. I don't know. Does Wolf get involved in any handicapping?
He doesn't bark like Skippy.
And we've experimented with this, right? We've had monkeys come into the studio and try and pick games based on whether they took the purple or the green grape, which side of the banana they ate first. We've had dogs, cats, chickens, just about everything, lunatics. And people that were qualified handicappers, and we've had many of them that didn't hit 500. So I think, if you're not a 50% handicapper, then you're clearly below the curve because it's a given, Lubie, that just by the law of averages, you should hit at 50%. If you're worse than that by injecting your own opinion into the equation, then and look, you could pick favorites in every game. And I don't know how that works out. I guess what? I'm not sure what the percentage of winning favorites is, but and also you can judge a handicapper's level of sharpness by when they come up with games that you consider to be somewhat unlikely, right? You always like the guy that has a contrarian opinion and he happens to be right. And now in this case, it's weird because every handicapper I've talked to likes South Florida in this game against Boise State tonight.
We're getting almost a touchdown. Like that's a solid number.
The line slid 1 point. They were getting 6.5. It's now 5.5.
You're at home, and anyone who watched Boise State in the playoffs, Ashton Genty was clearly a big part of their offense.
Yeah, he was the offense.
So yes, I was being nice.
And I was talking to our man Troy West yesterday on a handicapping show we debuted on Bleacher Brothers, and he threw this in, and I think you have to take it into consideration with college football, especially. Travel has to be factored into your equation, no? I mean,
especially
to
from
some degree, no matter how small you may consider it of a factor, the fact that Boise State's traveling like what 2,500 miles or whatever to play this game against South Florida, and they're just sitting there at home. I would think gives you a little bit of an advantage if you happen to be the home team. So anyway, it gets underway tonight, but a spectacular weekend on tap. College football. I mean, does it always begin or with this many blockbuster games?
No. The Thursday, if there is, I don't remember there being games on the Thursday. If there is games on the Thursday,
There are games every night. It seems like, right? I mean, you have the MAC
Thursday through
conference
Monday,
going
but
on.
yeah, well, but that's usually like week 5 or week 6. That doesn't start at the beginning. Like at the beginning, you don't have Thursday games for a little bit. For it to start like this is interesting. Like there's literally like 10 games. Like, and it's not even. Yes, I get it. Boise
16
State
games listed on the board here, and that
That's
may
crazy.
not be all of them. 16 games.
But that's the thing. But yes, Boise State's ranked, and USF. They pushed Bama, they pushed Miami, and they're at home. So that's maybe the most high profile one. But like, there's a lot of Power 4 teams playing their first game tonight. Like that's Oklahoma State plays tonight, Missouri plays tonight. Like those are games that, and again, it's the first game. So a lot of the time you'll see these teams at least struggle at the beginning. Like that's a lot of action for the Thursday night. Like this weekend's going to be pretty insane.
Amazing. Yeah, well, and a big slate on Friday, of course. Saturday, you have a ton of games. Sunday, you've got and Notre Dame, among others. And then the Monday night, I think there's a lone Monday night game. Or no, 2 games on Monday night. I think South Carolina plays. A lot of people like South Carolina this year to do something significant. And Bill Belichick debuts with North Carolina against TCU. On Labor Day Monday. So I don't know. Let's take a few of these games, the marquee games, and see what you think, Lubie. We've talked about them a little bit during the week. Now, here's the other part of it. I mean, until you see one, is it almost impossible to make a judgment?
Oh, for sure.
Do we have any idea? And especially now, I was asking these handicappers yesterday on a show. I mean, it used to be you would judge maybe there would be an impactful freshman coming in off a monster recruiting class that you would say, okay, that's going to make a difference. You lose a couple of players to either the NFL with an early departure that happened after 3 years. Is it 2 years or 3 years a guy has to play in college ball now? 3.
Not play. 3. You have to be 3 years removed from
high school. Right?
High school.
All right. So okay, so you had some uniformity there, and some kind of foundational basis if you knew that certain players were coming back, and of course you could make a judgment about a team based on the idea that they lost so and so to graduation, so and so to the NFL, but now you have complete overhauls of rosters. North Carolina with Bill Belichick has I think I saw 73 new players.
Yeah. No, he shook out the whole roster,
and that's not uncommon though. You have many teams that have anywhere from 25 to 75 new players on their roster. So how do you make a judgment unless you really know this stuff? And even if you do, you don't really have any barometer to figure out how they gel together. So I would be extremely cautious making selections, especially in the first week. Do we really have any idea what Notre Dame's going to look like with a new quarterback?
No. Again, as a kid, I've never seen him play like that, and he's going
on the road
on the road. And
will it be a hostile environment or will it be 50-50?
Whatever we say about Miami fans, they show up for big games, and again,
force, and everybody hates Notre Dame here.
There's Notre Dame fans, but you would think it's going to be a UM crowd. And again, it's Notre Dame coming from the Midwest to here, where again, it's hot as hell at 7 a.m. and at 9 p.m. So, that's why people the spread being 2.5 is interesting in Notre Dame because they are going on the road and they're starting a new quarterback. Like you're seeing that across the board. The team starting the new quarterbacks usually are at a detriment, but they don't believe in Chris. I mean, that's all I can get from that. I get they returned Jordan Love and he's one of the best running backs in the country. But your quarterback will need to play in this game. Like you would think UM's defense is not going to be the sieve it was against a run like it was last year. So you're going to expect Carr to make plays. Like it's interesting. Like we always say, you get 3 points for being at home. They're favored, right? So what is that?
But you lose 2.5 of those points on the Cristobal factor.
Well, that
So
no,
I'm
that's what I'm
giving
saying.
them a
Okay,
half
let's
point
do it.
edge. Miami. I don't know why I like Miami in this game. It's kind of stupid. Everybody I talk to likes Notre Dame.
I
And
don't know
I'm
what to
just
do with
thinking
it.
maybe Miami's going to be good. Although this Howie Kasoy was talking about, and I'm not sure what level of control would Kirby Smart have had over the departure or retention of Carson Beck.
If he wanted him there, he would have stayed.
Okay. So
You're
they're
not leaving
waving the $4
Georgia.
million in front of him by Miami or whoever it was.
Georgia can pay whatever they want. Georgia has more money than Miami. Like, I don't care what Miami fans tell you. Yes, Miami sometimes goes all in on players, so they're able to get players from Ohio State because Ohio State wants to have 6 5-stars. So you going all in to get the one, you can outshine them. But at quarterback is usually where you're willing to spend whatever you have to spend. Yeah. They didn't want to keep him. He was average to bad most of last year. And I know UM fans now have done are doing this thing where they're telling themselves this and that, and that's fine. He was average too. He had one. I'm trying to remember the one. He had one game that was really good, and he played well versus Bama, where they came back from like 20 down, and they came all the way back, and they thought they were going to win, and then Ryan Williams had the ridiculous touchdown, and they lost. Milroe jacked it up, and they lost. But they still lost that game, and he was bad for like the first half in that game. And if you look at him most of last year, he was Once he lost Brock Bowers and McConkey, and again, they're Georgia. They have talent every year. Like, losing those guys shouldn't be that big of a deal. It showed they were carrying him. And Georgia would rather go with the young guy we don't know what the hell the young guy is because he looked like ass at the end of the year. Now, again, he got thrown into a really bad situation. Like in the SEC title game, the quarterback goes down. Like, the guy is on no reps. Even for the playoffs, I know they get a month, whatever they get. It's not the same thing as spring ball and summer ball and fall and all this other crap that they have over the summer. Like, this idea that we're just erasing last year and going to back 2 years ago. No, he started literally all of last year until the SEC title game. And outside of one game, he was very average to
and you do have to consider that. I mean, Smart wasn't going to let this guy go. If
Georgia let him go.
That's the way it works. He was willing to let him depart. Georgia in a year where Georgia was, trying to rebound a little bit from, by their standards, an off season. So and Kirby Smart's no fool. I mean, Smart is applicable there. On the chat line, Mike Nyman, all excited, back from Alaska. This guy's become an incredible world traveler, like an explorer almost. And he's going to the Notre Dame game, and we do have to. I mean, this is a special shout out to one Tony Segreto, old school. We put the heat on Tony on Tuesday to come up with the tickets for Len Robbins. He did it, Lubie.
Oh, really?
Not only did he do it, I'm going to have to employ and engage your help today to figure out how to download these tickets. Because
he actually got you tickets?
Not only did he get tickets, but I mean, I'm looking at them. Look, I was looking Upper Deck was going for $250 a copy for the Gator game. Len Robbins, a good friend of the show, we'll have him on hopefully next week, and he may owe us an appearance every day at this point because I can't believe how Segreto hooked this guy up. So I see this transfer of tickets goes through from a guy named Hertz. Is the Hertz family? Is there a Hertz family that's a big booster?
Maybe.
With the University of Miami. This guy must have some real pull at the University of Miami. So the tickets are transferred to me via telephone. I think I did download them. It says that you have received your tickets, although I don't know how to actually tangibly access them. But supposedly they're in some account of mine now. And I look at it, section 118, row 20.
Really?
Is lower bowl, about midway up, which is where you want to be. You don't want to be down too low because there are a lot of things, impeding your view if you're way down there in the lower.
You can't see the other side. Like, you can only see parts of wherever you are if you're too low. That's the only problem with being
50-yard line, Lubie. 50-yard line, lower ball, 20 rows up. You can't get a better view than that.
Holy crap.
So, Len's going to be treated to a pretty good deal there. Now, I'm going to have to mention that Segreto hooked him up. I can't just take credit for that, can I? That would be ridiculous. All right, so what are we predicting here? Notre Dame. You're not a big fan of the University of Miami, Lubie. We know that. Florida State influences. I don't know why. I mean, why do I think Miami can win this game? Because they're home. I didn't really care for Notre Dame's team that much last year, even though they made the championship game and put up a pretty good fight against Ohio State. The quarterback, what was it? Riley Leonard was the guy's name. Didn't impress me, and so you're going to have what appears to be somewhat of a drop off. I mean, you got new guys, unless we haven't heard that much about these Notre Dame quarterbacks. Marcus Freeman versus Mario Cristobal on the sideline is almost a wash for me.
Yeah, I lean Freeman just because his issues haven't been as gaping as Cristobal, but he hasn't been coaching as long. So he's only really done the 2-3 years. So I agree with you. That's sort of like I would lean Freeman just because Cristobal
Freeman has been vulnerable to what you think
bad
are
losses.
he lost against Northern Illinois, for God's sake.
At home, yes. He's had bad losses. He's had bad games. But we've also seen him rebound from that, whereas Cristobal, we usually see that follow him throughout a season. So
Cristobal gets off to a zippity-doo-dah 9-0 start and then falls apart at the seams.
Exactly. Freeman hasn't done it. Freeman has
much of which you could point a finger directly at him, in spite of the fact Jim Sarney thinks coaching doesn't matter so much.
Freeman has had struggles at the beginning of season, which we see on lots of teams, and then he usually gets it together, and then they go on a run, and they've done that every year now. And usually, even when they've struggled, you blame him because he's the coach, but you don't have an exact specific thing to blame on him. I would lean Freeman, but again, it's a slight lean because he hasn't coached that long. Because Cristobal is just it's just hard to find Cristobal is because
it's unfathomable the stuff this guy does. Literally, the first play in any coach's playbook is the victory formation. It's page 1. You always want to be in this situation, and that the guy would have just ripped that page out of the playbook and go, let's hand the ball off and see how our offensive line does. Gators against LIU, that should be a blockbuster, huh? Brian Schwartz.
I don't know what I just when spreads get that high, it's so like they should cover it, but when spreads get that high, it's like I don't know.
You know what? I like taking the underdog in those games, and I hope they get a field goal in the open.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you get up 30 something. You have a young Lagway who has injury problems. Like the dude's getting injured every other week. Like you're not going to take him out. I don't know who their backup is. Like
how much you're going to pile it on too. I mean,
and Napier, this is literally it. Like they need to win every game that they can by as comfortable as possible because their schedule is utterly insane. Like you're going to worry. He's not Spurrier. Like you're worrying about spreads. Like I mean, get the win and get out. To me, 45 is a lot. Like once you're up by 30 something, you can't tell me their 4-string can't give up a touchdown or like
if the other team scores once.
I hate spreads like that.
You're looking like a 50-point spread. All right, let's pick these games real quick because we do have the trivia challenge coming up.
Yeah, Gurggles ready to go.
He's already with us and he's ready to fire here. All right, so quick picks here. UM Notre Dame. We'll get Gurggles involved. Gurggles,
I'll bring him on. He seems to be ready. So he knows.
How are you, my friend?
Good.
UM Notre Dame. What do you like in that one?
I'm Catholic, Notre Dame.
Okay, you're going with the Fighting Irish. Ohio State, Texas. What do you say, Louis?
Texas with Archer's there. He's returning quarterback versus a sophomore who's never really played. So I would take Texas in that game.
All right, you take Texas. I'll go Ohio State. Clemson, LSU.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Dabo guy. Boy, you're aligned with God on this thing. Have you had some kind of religious
He's horrible in these openers.
No, but
my taking TCU over North Carolina too, right?
It depends on what play Belichick's girlfriend calls. I don't know.
By the way, some stats on Belichick that were cited here in one handicapper's column. Belichick first year with the team, 6-10 with the Browns, 5-11 with the Patriots. He went 4-13 his final year with the Patriots, and without Tom Brady, 83-104.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's any scathing indictment against his coaching ability. I still think Belichick's a hell of a coach, and it wasn't all Brady, it wasn't all Belichick, but probably mutually responsible for all of that success the Patriots had.
But if they lose, can you see him in a press conference and they ask him, what happened, coach? And he says, we're on to Austin P.
All right, a couple of other things here before we get into the trivia challenge. My man got picked up, Tommy DeVito. He's now a Patriot.
Oh, good.
Tommy Cutlets is now Tommy Chowder. So he's gone. The Finns made a move. They got some guy named Juju Brents, a cornerback. You know anything about him, Lubie? Juju Brents. You ever heard of him? He was with the Colts.
No, I don't know that name.
That was their big waiver pickup. MLB, wow, did you see Ohtani last night pitching? That was unbelievable. I didn't realize his breaking ball was that sharp. Did you? Have you watched Ohtani pitch? He throws a ball up there at 100 miles an hour. How great is this guy? Does he exceed the Bambino? I mean, modern day, could the Babe have done what he did when he was pitching for the Red Sox and then, of course, became a position player and hit all of those home runs? But Ohtani is hitting. He's the first Dodger, I think, in history to have back-to-back 45-plus home run seasons. His pitching hadn't really rounded quite into form yet coming off that Tommy John, but he was razor sharp last night. Unbelievable. And the Dodgers opened up a 2-game advantage on the Padres. Yankees are swinging the bats, but they're beating up on lousy teams, but hitting home runs right and left. And I don't understand this. Do you follow? I don't think you're a big soccer fan, Gurggles, are you?
Little men running.
Little men running, exactly. The polyman theory. Now, is Messi getting 2 goals in this game last night and dominating the way that he does in terms of scoring? Is it like putting Connor McDavid in the IHL? I mean, isn't this like Little League soccer, that this MLS? Now, this is the League's Cup that the team, and I still have no idea what the MLS season consists of. Are these league games? No, they're like it's another tournament. Anyway, we should mention that because the guy scored a couple of goals again last night. But seems like it's like Danny Almonte being in the Little League, where he just I want to see a birth certificate. And then the other big announcement. You're a big golf guy. I mean, did you make anything of this? Do you follow the Ryder Cup, Gergs?
I do.
So what did you think about this Keegan Bradley? That was the big issue, whether he was going to name himself as a player. And he kind of dragged it out in a dramatic fashion. Certainly was deserving. I think he's ranked 11th in the world. He's been playing very well. Could have easily been a player captain first since Arnie Palmer. But he decided just to go ahead and be the administrator with the captain duties. And he picked, I guess Sam Burns was the benefactor of that, got on the team. But I'm looking at everybody's record in Ryder Cup play. It's not too significant. A lot of losers on that American team. Are we going to get destroyed? What do you think?
I think it's the right decision not to play, especially as a first-time captain, because this way he can focus just on setting up the matchups and then not worry about himself and everything else going on. So I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, you think they over-dramatized the role of the captain?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you were a captain. I mean, you would have a captain of a team when you were playing softball, and you would make your picks, and then you'd go out there and play.
I think
it's really matter. I mean, how
it's
hard
a little bit different, definitely, because I don't know who the captain was that put Mickelson and Woods together, but that was a mistake. I think there's so many different egos to massage. You got Bryson in there as the only live guy, so I think he's doing the right thing by doing that, and I still think Europe's going to win.
Probably so. Yeah. We win every year. I mean, we lose every year.
Horrendous.
Still hard to imagine, though, that the first course I ever played, and we played it frequently for a couple of summers, was Bethpage Black. First course I ever played. I don't even know. I think we bought our clubs at the Englishtown flea market one day. Decided to go play golf, and we ended up at the Bethpage Black course. It was like $3 to play, and you would line up there. You had to get there at like 5 a.m, and you would line up, and we were among the first guys to tee off. And we were out there literally in tank tops and cut-off shorts playing the Bethpage Black, now one of the most distinguished courses anywhere in the country. My friend Ira the Met fan, 91 years old, just the other day, turned 91.
God bless him.
Holds a distinction that many PGA Touring pros don't have, where he aced the par 3 17th.
Wow.
Not a good golfer. I think he hit a sculling line drive that length of a tree. And we were looking for the ball in the woods, and it actually ended up in the hole. So how about that? He's better than 99% of the golfers that will be competing in any tournament on the Bethpage Black. All right, we want to get to the trivia challenge. That's your synopsis of what was going on in sports. A lot of good action last night at the U.S. Open in tennis. There was some controversy there with this Lena Stepanko, who tends to be a real asshole, especially when she loses, and very insulting racial overtones and undertones to it. As she lost to Taylor Townsend, who's mostly a doubles player, and she literally bitched her out at the net after the match, complaining that she didn't apologize. Now, how do you feel about that, Gergs? You played some tennis. You hit one that scratches the net and then just drops over. Do you owe it to the opposition to just say, "Oh, I'm sorry," that you got screwed on the shit? An obligation? I mean,
I'd say you definitely say that, but you definitely don't mean it.
Right, you don't care. You're happy it landed on her.
Absolutely.
It's like, go bleep yourself.
It's part of the repertoire.
All right, we're going to come back with the trivia challenge. Dial us up, 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. Lubie's always seeking new blood on this thing. I know it's tough to get in because the regulars are diving all over it, but we wouldn't mind hearing from some new people here on the show. So dial us up, 954-417-0070. Back with the trivia challenge and Dave Gurggles Gergely in a moment. Now that.
The time.
It's 8:36. Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Oh, Solo Volante will be coming late. Oh, Solo Volante, the Belmont's now 1.8 miles. The finish line is coming up quick. Luca Panici just switched the stick.
The only way to get your morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on the Defo Show.
Hey, the immortal words of Mills Lane. Let's get it on. Let's get the trivia challenge started here. 954-417-0070. You heard from the illustrious Polyman there with the Solo Volante tribute to Luca Panici. Still waiting for that horse to cross the wire. And let's get it going here with Dave Gurggles Gergely. Somewhat traditional fashion and some
easy baseball. This catcher turned manager on one of his players caught stealing explained it thusly. He can run anytime he wants. I'm giving him the red light. Yogi Berra, Pancho Herrera, Walter Guerra, or High Sierra?
All right, roll it, Lubie, the random phone scrambler.
Here's something.
All right, speaking of new blood, we have Ron. Ron the regular. Ron, you're on the trivia challenge. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Let's go with A, guys.
Good job.
Yeah, we have an early tally here. We're on 1 point going for 2.
Nice job last week, Ron, leading your team to a 4th place finish at Landlubbers.
Well, we could have done it without you, Gurgle.
All right, tennis, true or false? The U.S. Open, of course, is on us, and the official drink in the U.S. Open is the Cross Court Ace, featuring vodka, pineapple juice, and a splash of cranberry. True or false?
Sounds disgusting.
True.
No. The official drink is called the Honey Deuce. It's vodka, Shambui, ice with honeydew melons. So, many of you proud you missed it.
Can't you just order a mint julep?
Oh, that'll work. Jesus.
1 going for 4.
Okay, here we go. NFL. We had talked about the Dolphins' playoff history. What team did the Dolphins defeat for their first ever playoff win?
Good question.
Oakland, Baltimore, Denver, or Kansas City?
Oh, boy. First ever. Let's go Denver.
That's what I was going to say.
No, it was Christmas of 71, Kansas City, when they won that one.
Oh,
That was
He
the
just
first.
destroyed Kansas City
That
for
was his first one. Wow.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Jan Stenerud game there?
Yes.
Where I don't know, was that the double or triple overtime?
Yes.
Okay, I remember watching that at the Surf Comer Hotel. I was down there Christmas time around that time. All right, you have one going for 6, Ron.
Well, let's go back to the U.S. Open. Andy Roddick was the last American to win the U.S. Open men's singles in 2003 when he defeated whom in the finals?
Hmm.
Yevgeny Kavenikov, Carlos Moya, Juan Carlos Ferrero, or Fernando Fernandez?
Did you make these names up?
No.
The last one I've never heard. I've heard the other one.
Fernando, is that the bartender?
Let's go Carlos Moya.
Moya.
No, it was Juan Carlos Ferrero, but you're right. Fernando Fernandez was the bartender at Silks. But the
Be in the final. So
all right, Ron.
well done, Ron. You did just the same as Thursday.
Yeah. Shout out City. All right, jump on board if you want to play. 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. Gurggles, I know you're going to be lighting up a Perdomo cigar pretty soon.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm going to see Nick and the gang today. I'm going to be testing my hip out next Tuesday with a Beat the Broadcaster for Miami-Dade Fire Rescue at Miami Springs. So I'll have some Perdomo cigars with me.
Okay.
And you can get them this week. Don't forget they're closed Monday, but this week, go see them Thursday or today or tomorrow at 5150 Northwest 167th Street on the Palmetto on the south side, just a little bit east of Home Depot, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Bruce, the concierge, will direct you to that humidor our late great friend, the Mad Dog, built, and make your selection. Connecticut wrapper, Maduro wrapper, they make them perfect one at a time. 305-627-6700. You want something for the weekend? Go online, www.perdomocigars.com. And you talk about all the action, one piece of action you're missing. Today is opening day for Downs.
Kentucky Downs?
Yes, and
wow, okay.
our Perdomo horse of the day is a hunch horse in the second race, number 4. You ready for this name, Mike? Sherrills Ready.
Really? That's her nickname. That's really what
Second race today. So if you want to give me 20, if it loses, I'll split it with you. The 4 horse in the second race, Sherrills Ready, and believe me, she is ready, as a matter of fact. That's our Perdomo horse of the day.
Do they still have that weird illusion there where it looks like the horses are at the wire and then all
Timothy Leary is the cameraman.
Another half a mile. They're like, all right, I got it. And then wait, they're still freaking running. All right, here we go. We'll get our next player in here. Our next set of questions. Dave Gurggles Gergely.
All right, golf. This comedian, known for an occasional drink during a round of golf, when asked by a fellow golfer how the greens were running, said, I don't know, where I play, the greens always break towards the bar. Was that our buddy Lonesome George Gable, Clark Kent, or Kent DeSormo?
All right, roll it, Libby. See what we have on the other end. Anthony. Is this new blood, Lubie, that you got into the show?
Oh, blood. That's new blood. That's back.
Welcome back, Anthony.
Anthony, how are you? You're on the Trivia Challenge.
Morning. Another fun-filled day. A is the answer.
Correct.
Good job.
Very good, sir. You're tied with Ron.
Hockey, Anthony, true or false? On this day in sports back in 2014, believe it or not, Burger King agreed to purchase Tim Hortons Donuts for $11.4 billion.
Wow.
True or false?
I'll take a guess. True.
True.
That is true, Anthony.
Really?
Wow. Nice piece of change.
That's a nice number.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
A lot of Boston cream there. 2
Jesus.
for 2, going for 5.
All right, baseball. Hall of Fame pitcher Hoyt Wilhelm is remembered for hitting a home run in his first ever at bat in the major leagues and not another one during his 23-year career. What team was he playing for when he hit that lone home run?
Oh, wow.
The Dodgers, the White Sox, the Orioles, or the Giants?
Jesus.
Well, I'm going to take a guess. Giants.
Yes,
Giants.
New York Giants.
Wow.
Well done, Anthony.
Guy's on a roll, going for the sweep, challenging the record of Andy.
Yes.
All right, Anthony. NFL football. Which of the following NFL teams had a winless season in 1960?
Oh, God.
The Cardinals, the Vikings, the Cowboys, or the Rams?
Jesus.
Rams.
Rams.
No, it's a team I love to hate, the Cowboys.
Really?
Not bad, though,
He
Anthony.
will
Nice,
be probably in the finals.
nice comeback. Yeah, don't go too far, Anthony, because we're short on time here and looking to put in as many players as we can at 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. By the way, you were moving like a winner there, Gurggles. Dropped some pounds, and are you going to practice your swing before you get
Well,
out?
when I finished the show today, I'm going to go down to the range and just hit a couple because you have to make a little turn with your hip and
Yeah.
that side. So, and I've got 138 golfers. And
Oh,
we
yeah?
also, for our Corey for St. Jude's, October 24th, we've raised over $1 million. We have 138 that day. And I want to thank our folks at Solstice Health. They have donated four seats in a Panthers game in a suite with parking
Nice.
and everything that
Oh,
we'll
wow.
use in the live auction. Yeah.
Jesus, that's good.
So that I'll do the live auction. And last year I bid 700 and went with some friends. So it's
You
a terrific
well on
item
those,
for a great cause.
silent auctions. You are the king of the silent auction.
Oh, these are the live ones. I like this a lot.
No, but their suites are nice and the views.
Yeah. Oh,
like
with
not just
food,
the
everything.
somewhere, like their
Parking's
suites
included. Yep.
Very good. Yeah, the parking alone would be worth the price of that.
back to back defending champion. Like that's actually great. That's a great thing that they're running. That's amazing.
All right, we're going to play one more here, and
Okay.
let's get into it. Our next set of questions.
All right, NFL football. This tight end turned podcaster on experiencing poverty, as you said, we were so poor.
How poor were you?
A robber once broke into our house and we ended up robbing him. What's that? Shannon Sharp, Mike Shannon, Del Shannon, or Del Unser?
Roll it, Lubie. Let's see what we come up with.
Surprising who that's from, but that's good.
All right, always a pleasure to hear from this gentleman. Andy, you're up next. Andy defending the honor of his 3-week sweep succession. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. Really good. Go with A this time.
8, correct? Nice
Good.
job.
All right, hoops, Andy, true or false? Among the group that paid $12 million for the MJ and Kobe Bryant signed card is none other than Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank.
All right, good question.
That's true.
True. It is true.
That guy's
Very good. A wise investor, I guess.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I read that.
Going for 5.
All right, here's one going back a little bit, Andy. Last week in the PGA Tour Championship, won by Tommy Fleetwood, congratulations to him. From its debut in 1987 through 2006, the top 30 winners were there. What corporate group was the first company sponsor of this event before it became known as the PGA Tour Championship? Volvo, Nabisco, Chevrolet, or Procter & Gamble?
Jesus.
What was the first one? It was horrible.
Volvo.
Procter & Gamble, because that's what I heard.
Volvo.
I heard Procter & Gamble. I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm
Believe it
going.
or not, it was Nabisco.
Nabisco.
Yep.
Shredded wheat.
I didn't hear that.
I mean, I wouldn't have gone with that
Sick.
either, though. So.
No,
Going
you
for,
didn't hear it because you weren't listening. That's why.
It
Going
was
for
horrible. It was horrible.
You would go into Bisco. I want to go.
I can't hear you, Andy. You're garbled.
Yeah.
Baseball.
So put you in the finals. You get this one right.
Baseball, Andy. Which of the following catchers has hit the second most home runs in a season with 48?
Okay.
Johnny Bench, Yogi Berra, Javi
Perez.
That's
Salvador Perez
Yes.
is correct.
Correct. Yes.
We did
Now,
this
what's his address? That was the question. Salvador Perez is correct.
Good job, Andy. Man.
And he tallies 7 on the show. We mentioned that the other day here on the program. That's one of those things like from the Kelly Ripa show, where they ask you a question about something that we talked about the day before. Very good. All right, so we had Andy with 7, Anthony with 5. We're going to match him up in the finals. And one more time, Gurggles, while you're out there, you'll be passing out Perdomo cigars.
Yeah, I'll be there Monday for the Tuesday for the fire rescue of Miami-Dade, and then we're getting ready for, of course, St. Jude's here. Of course, it's in unbelievable shape. We sell them here, as a matter of fact. But you can
When's the course opening, by the way?
We're going to open for the St. Jude's tournament the 24th, then that weekend for our members, and then to the general public November 1st. And
Nice.
it's spectacular, it really is. And our membership is going great. We have, I think, 80 members with a waiting list of another 150. We'll kind of sort through. And it's in spectacular condition here. They're working now on the clubhouse and the new restaurant in the front of right at the entrance as well. But Perdomo Cigars is less than a mile and a half away from us, 5150 Northwest 167th Street, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'm going to see Nick and Bruce today. You can go see them anytime like that. They're closed Monday, or go online, www.perdomocigars.com, and light one up when number 4, Cheryl's Ready, wins the second today at Kentucky Downs.
That is such a hunch play with Lubie on the show. It's unbelievable.
My wife's never ready. So
but she is ready. She's ready to pop, Lubie. That's the beauty of this.
Yes, in our life now, that fits. She's very much ready.
It's hard to say if she's going to win again. She's already a winner when she met you.
Yeah.
The only thing that's disturbing about this whole birth of young Luca Lubie is that you didn't officially make his middle name Panici.
Yeah, sorry.
You're not going to do that? I mean, his birth certificate should say Luca Panici Lubitz, no?
Why couldn't you name him like Luca Oscar Lubitz? And that way it'd be LOL. He could sign it.
Luca Brazzi. I mean, Luca Brazzi Lubitz. That actually has more of a ring to it than Luca Panici Lubitz.
But we're not Italian.
Luca Brazzi Lubitz.
I like Luca. It's not to pay homage to the Italian culture, which I do love. We just like the name Luca. So
how about 3 L's? Luca Liberace Lubie.
You want me to get divorced? Is that what we want?
That's what it did. My mother said they thought about naming me Gregory Gergely. I'd been beaten up so many times.
Oh, yeah. Double G, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we should have a contest. Middle name for Luca Lubitz.
We have our middle name.
Oh, you do?
You don't have to reveal it.
My wife doesn't want to reveal the full name yet, so we
okay.
have the middle name. Yes, you can do a contest. I'm curious what people will come up with. I'm sort of scared with our audience.
You noticed you knew it was a boy because Jeff and I are both dressed in blue today.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I'm white, but still.
This was the shirt that was on the bed from yesterday.
Now,
I
when
grabbed it.
Renee Richards was born, did they dress in like blue and pink? I don't quite understand.
Jesus.
How about this though? I mean, with this whole transgender thing, that's become such a popular topic. Did Renee Richards not compete in the U.S. Open?
Yes, to date, the only winner of the mixed singles.
Jesus.
You're not going to use that old joke about tennis without balls, are you?
No. That was the title of the book, though. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're ready for the finals here, and I think it's about time because we're doing some horse comedy. When you resort to this, it's worse than platform material. So, we're definitely staggering around here on this.
Ready for the finals.
Program. So we have Andy and Anthony for the finals. You guys, Dave's going to fire off a question. Call out your name if you want to answer right away. Nobody answers right away. We offer multiple choice. First person to call out his name gets first choice. We go back and forth till we have a winner. Good luck, gentlemen, for the championship of today's edition of the Trivia Challenge. Here is the great Dave Gurggles Gergely.
And in honor of our dear departed friend Lenny, we're going to the ABA.
Good. Oh, yeah. You always stumped him. You frustrated, you infuriated Lenny with those ABA questions. You led him to his grave, perhaps.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Luckily, I'm Catholic, not Jewish, so I have no guilt.
You don't have the guilt, exactly.
All right, guys, good luck. 2 players during the length of the ABA total seasons led the ABA in assists 3 different times.
Okay.
Bill Melchioni and
anybody?
Okay, multiple
choice.
Ron Perry, Louis Dampier, Warren Jabali, or Larry Brown.
Wow. I got 2 in mind.
Warren Cavalli.
Andy.
Is that Andy?
Yeah.
Andy.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
That is
okay. 3 left for Anthony.
Ron Perry, Louis Dampier, or Larry Brown?
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. Right.
Was the other one.
Basketball player.
He didn't show any emotion. He just said
Louis Dampier leads every other category in the world in the ABA.
Stop, buddy. You're the
It had to be Dampier or Brown.
Miami Lakes, but did play there too.
All right, very good. Anthony's our champion. Good game today. Hotly contested. Appreciate that. Gurggles, always a fine job.
And then next week we're off, right?
We are.
Mike's gone.
I will be.
That's right. Okay.
In Cancun.
But I'll take care of you at Landlubbers, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys, thanks for playing. Everybody, appreciate it. Gurggles, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being with us. Dave Gurggles Gergely, ladies and gentlemen. Cancun? The heck is that, Lubie? You're unbelievable.
Baby moon. The thing I'm talking about forever.
What was that?
The baby moon, the stupid thing that we probably shouldn't be doing. But my wife, we have to take one more trip before we have the baby. So they do this fakakta thing called the baby moon.
Baby moon. Okay.
Ours is next week.
How's that work? Are you having to pay for it?
Yeah, of course.
I thought that was on the
She found
parents.
actually a really good deal. That's why we're going now. She found a really good deal that post summer. So but we don't want to fly a lot because she just entered the third trimester. So
Yeah.
we are going to. I've never actually. It's funny with all my world travels. I've never actually
been there. Yeah.
I've never been to Mexico.
Oh, I've been to Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't think I got any further south than Tijuana.
Well, you were driving from Cali. You didn't need to go anywhere further than Tijuana.
Wait a minute. Yeah, Tijuana. That was it.
Isn't that what you do when you like live in LA? Like you drive there.
You go down to Tijuana, buy a couple of leather jackets, and go see some strip shows. At the time, Agua Caliente was still in action, so you go to the racetrack there, and maybe even take in. I believe they had dog racing there at that time, so do a little of that, and then hope not to get robbed. That was.
That's what I thought. That's what you do.
You open it and went into some gang that was led by Margarito or somebody like that. All right, very good, Lubie. So that's next week. When are you taking off? Thursday.
Thursday. I'll talk to Ken if you guys want to do a thing Friday. I know because it is.
Oh yeah, with college football, we definitely
don't really want to miss Ken. So thank goodness he can run things. So I figured if we miss a trivia challenge, we've been doing that lately. It's not the end of the world. And I'll arrange with Ken to make sure that you guys get your picks because it'll be week 2, and it isn't week 1. There's a major drop off from week 2 from week 1.
Yeah, it's not as illustrious.
We have 3 top 10 matchups. FSU versus Alabama is a blue blood level matchup. Like Thursday, there's 25 games. Like next week, whatever it is, it's still gonna be a drop off. I mean, this weekend it's freaking insane.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. I mean,
but you don't want to miss it, Ken with the predictions and then the big board. So we'll hopefully he'll be up to it, and we'll have him in my stead next Friday.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. All right, Louie, you have a good one. Everybody out there, have a great day. I really appreciate you guys tuning into the program. Very active on the chat line. So that was cool. I know Mike Nyman's excited about his New York Mets sweeping the Phillies.
Nice. So that's big. That's big.
Well, they got within 4 games. I mean, they were dead in the water. They were already writing obituaries in my New York Post for the New York Mets, and they're calling up this kid. It's supposed to be very exciting. But I always like this, the September call-ups.
I love September call-ups.
Like back in the day, we used to see this once in a while when the Marlins were a relevant franchise.
Rare was a September call-up. That it will go down in, not infamy, that will go down in glory in Marlins history. Who he ended up being like one of the 3 best hitters on that World Series champion.
You got Jonah Tong coming up. Now, they already brought in this guy, Nolan McLean, who, again, was lights out yesterday.
So is that why I kept saying that name? I'm like, who is Nolan? Why does Mike Nyman keep saying Nolan McLean?
Nolan McLean, I think he's made 3 starts, and he's looked overwhelmingly impressive.
Oh, wow.
Been great. So the Mets, who appear to be dead in the water. I mean, just last week we were talking about whether or not they were going to hang on for the wild card against Cincinnati. Now they've scratched their way to within 4 of Philadelphia, and certainly embedded themselves in a much better position in terms of wild card considerations. But I mean, look, the starting rotation was questionable right from the time they named Clayton Holmes, the Yankee reliever who lost his closer role last year and ended up being a setup man. All of a sudden, he's a starter with the New York Mets. Hadn't been a starter in a long time, and he was their opening day starter. So you're thinking that's a very suspect pitching rotation if it's going to be led by that guy. And they brought up this guy, Nolan McLean. He's been lights out. And this Jonah Tong leads the minors. He was in AA and AAA, and he leads the minors in virtually every category. I mean, a strikeout machine. So that could be a very interesting development here. If all of a sudden your 1-2 punch is 2 guys that you called up after August.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see what happens. He's going to pitch, I think, tomorrow night. I think Jonah Tong makes his major league debut. Something to be at least looked at by even the most casual of sports fans. If you have any interest in baseball, I always like this one. The young phenom comes up.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens there. But I still I'm amazed. I was watching the highlights of Ohtani last night. And we knew he was an effective pitcher. I didn't realize this breaking ball that he throws. I mean, when you combine that with this 100-mile-an-hour fastball that had that old Bob Gibson rise to it, and then he's throwing this tremendous breaking ball. And the other guy that should be mentioned, given up for dead more than once, Clayton Kershaw has been
he's
just
still pitching, right?
Not only is he still pitching, but he made his first couple of starts this year, and you thought, wow, is this guy washed up? I mean, it's a tragedy to see a guy stagger around like that. And boy, he's been great. of late, Clayton Kershaw. So the Dodgers getting a little bit of revival on their pitching rotation with Ohtani looking razor sharp, and then Kershaw continuing to impress people with the stuff that he has. I love that Kershaw. I don't know whose breaking ball is more fun to watch. Ohtani was great because he kind of snaps that thing off. It's much more of a contained break, but wow, does it drop off the table? And then Kershaw always had that high kind of overhand curveball.
Yep.
It was classic. And I don't know that he throws the ball with the same velocity. Probably not, but it's not as much as Ohtani. But he doesn't have the velocity that he used to have.
Not now.
Breaking ball still sharp. Been very, very effective. So Dave Roberts probably feeling a lot more comfortable about his situation than he was a couple of days ago when they trailed the Padres by a game. All right, a lot of fun being with you today. Enjoy the college football. Do I get on the side of all of the wise guys and take South Florida in the 5 and a hook?
The problem is
5 and a hook. South Florida over Boise State.
It's a very similar Notre Dame situation where you have a team from, I guess, Idaho's a northern Midwest. Like, is that the West? Like, I don't know what Idaho is.
Boise, Idaho.
Northwest? Is it considered the Northwest? I don't know.
When I look at a map, I forget how far west Idaho
it's
actually
super
is.
west. It's like right by like Washington, but
way out there.
It's
It may as well be Montana. Yeah.
So like it's a team from the Northwest to South or to Central Florida, which is a very far flight. And then also their weather, as Tony has let us know, the North is not feeling, I get New York, but like the North, which is what Idaho is.
Idaho's out there, man.
Has had nice weather. So for them to come and play in Tampa, it's
lightning.
It's a dome. They don't play in a dome. So these are things that help the not ranked team. And again, Boise State doesn't have Ashton Genty. And whatever Boise State is, yes, we've seen them from year to year continue to be good. You would think they would have to feel that at least in the first game. So like getting almost 6 points, it's hard for me to not go USF.
And let's face it, Genty was an exceptional talent.
It's amazing.
This was a guy, the big stat with Genty, wasn't it? How many yards he made after contact?
Yeah, he's a beast. And he's a guy that can run through the contact and then accelerate.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, they're all excited in Vegas for Genty with the Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
You would imagine Pete Carroll will find a way to throw a pass when he's at the goal line.
That's the one thing I heard yesterday with you guys. I turned it on just to check out your thing, and then I heard you bitching about Marshawn Lynch. I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like,
well, I mean, look, I didn't think that was the worst move that he could have made. I wasn't as critical of that as most people were. Look, Lynch is running the ball.
Run it.
The obvious play was that you were going to go ahead and let him run it a couple of times.
3 downs. It was second down.
The play should have worked. The miracle was that Malcolm Butler came literally out of nowhere and made that interception.
Yes, it was an interesting call. And if it works, no one says anything. It's just annoying because
maybe you don't want to throw that pass to the inside where, there are a lot of different things that can happen that can go wrong. Like it gets tipped up in the air, bounces off the guy's shoulder pads. But even Brady, I mean, the stunned look on Brady's face when Butler came up with that pick. Look, in hindsight, should you have run the ball? 1,000%.
Obviously.
But it wasn't like the Sarkisian wide play.
Yeah, that's what was leading into the Sark play.
Yeah, I mean, where you're ramming the ball down the other team's throats. They're on their heels and they're getting knocked backwards on every play. And you could have applied that to the Lynch thing, but it wasn't like Carroll made some. I didn't think that was such a bizarre call.
Look, at that point, Russell Wilson was a Super Bowl winning quarterback, so you were putting the ball in his hands. That's not the same thing as Quinn Ewers.
And you're crossing him up a little bit also. It just happened in that instance where, you're always pointing a finger at the coach. In that instance, a defensive player happened to make a spectacular play.
Yes, they had planned, they had trained for that instance. Seattle had done that before because, again, I guess Lynch's stats weren't great on second down. There was something about inside it was almost early analytics where that's why they did it, and they tried to explain that away, and it didn't help anything.
Well, and then look, if you were short with Lynch, are you going to pass the ball on third down? It limits.
That's why you do it there. Because
that limits the so-called element of surprise. So I wasn't as critical of that. It didn't work, but I didn't think it was the dumbest move I've ever seen. It just, in retrospect, obviously, it looks almost Cristobal-esque.
Yes.
But it wasn't like he ran the ball when he could have taken a knee.
No. I mean, look, people have done plays like that. You have a Pro Bowl quarterback who's already won a Super Bowl. It's okay to put the
play's there. The play was there.
He was open. He,
Yeah.
he threw it, lady threw behind him, and Butler was sitting on it. Like that was the combination of the play. That's why most of us just run him 3 times. Like you tell me you can't get a yard.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, but it became a pick because the pass was off.
Yes, it was.
More so than that the play was done. Now you could factor that in and say, well, geez, you're taking a high risk play when you could have handed the ball off to this monster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was a really stupid call.
The Sark was annoying because, and Ken and I've talked about this. That play does work a lot in college. Like early in the game, you'll see a team do that. They give it to their speedster, blocking, set up. The guy walks in.
Yeah.
But that's how that play works. Either the guy walks in or he loses 5 yards. There's no middle in that play. Like, because either the team's ready for it and then you have no shot at it, or the team's not ready for it. Like, you're not going to go, you're not going to get them to read your play, but be able to still find, like, there's not a middle ground there. So when you're at like the 2, why give your shot yourself a chance at losing 5 yards?
Right. And if you lose 6 yards like you did, now all of a sudden you got 3rd and goal from the 8.
And it's a whole different ball game. And again, it's really hard when it's tight like that. It's the defense's advantage, not the offense's advantage.
You can't afford to go backwards on that play. I mean, look, you can't afford to get picked off either across the game.
Both are bad calls to me. You can grade them however you want. I was more upset at the Marshawn Lynch because I despise the Patriots, and it was great seeing them freaking wallow. And out of nowhere, we were celebrating at my buddy's house. I'll never forget it. And they were like, "What the hell?" What are they doing?
I couldn't believe it when Butler made that pick.
Just to throw, like, it was one of those where even before it went wrong, we're like, "Why are they throwing it?" We're like,
exactly. And those were 2 Super Bowls between that and the one with the Falcons that the Patriots clearly should have lost, which would have given them a losing record in Super Bowls in spite of the fact that they made it so many times.
They went to a lot. Yeah, they went to a lot.
Unbelievable. What'd they go to 10 Super Bowls or 9? Were they 6-3 in Super Bowls? I think I want to say 9 Super Bowls they went to.
I think so. Yeah, I think they were like 6-3.
All right, so they could have just as easily been what was that, 4 and 5?
Yeah, it'd be great.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you could look at it from a lot of different angles.
It was amazing. You got a 9 Super Bowls or 10 Super Bowls.
Oh, incredible. That's why I don't know that you can totally discredit Belichick as a coach, because everybody likes to cite that stat that I gave you that without Tom Brady, he has a losing record. Let's not forget that without Belichick, there is no Tom Brady.
Yeah, look, they go hand in hand together. It's I even people who hate Belichick, like Ken calls him a cheater.
Any other coach would have put Bledsoe back in the lineup,
but he never says he sucks or anything. I mean, Belichick knows football; he's a good coach. It's the problem is, and with Shula too, right? Shula early on when he had the most success was when he had was it Bobby Beathard, or when he had whoever he had a personnel guy that was really good, and he was a great coach.
Right.
In his later years, wasn't he the guy that pretty much handled the personnel? And in his later years, wasn't that when the Dolphins got to be mediocre? Like
they staggered.
And that's it. Parcells, right? Parcells was a lot better, even though he wanted to pick the groceries. He actually was better off when he wasn't picking the groceries.
It's true.
That's the funny thing. Like, I get it, because if they're doing a bad job, then you're like, okay, my hands are tied. But then when it gets turned over to you and it gets worse, I think you should. That's the thing with Belichick. Like when Belichick, as much as we all gave him credit, he always had really good personnel people. And in his later years, we realized he didn't. And that's when he fell off. So I don't think it's his ability as a coach. I think it's and Ken used to say that it was Belichick, the GM, got in the way of Belichick, the coach.
I love that. I love that cliche, man. I do.
It's the truth. Like, I mean, it is. It's what
All right,
happened.
well, Lubie, you get ready. Get some suntan lotion, man. I didn't realize you were heading for Cancun. That's great.
I swear we planned this
that.
months ago. I swear I told you this.
All right. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, everybody. Catch you next time as we leave you now that.
The time.
It's 9:09.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done